Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This time we're on Season 1, Episode 13, titled T.R.A.C.K.S. And in the last one, which was called... It was called Seeds. We had the team... Well, we had, like, most of the team kind of going off to a S.H.I.E.L.D. school, like a school for S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, different buildings, but for like operations students who were out like field agents and combat agents and whatnot, and also the techies, so like the science and the science people and the high IQ people. Seems weird to kind of segregate them even that way, but still, like they went to a science school to investigate some stuff, like an ice, like a new tech thing going off, like an ice. Like a freezing. I don't even know how to describe it anymore. Like it was like a thing that froze things, like an ice bomb almost. Like it froze up the swimming pool, and then they got called in for that. And then it went off during a lecture again and froze up Donnie Yen. I don't know what his last name is, but it's not Donnie Yen. I think Donnie Yen is an actor, isn't it? Donnie, yeah, he played Yip Man. Yeah, I don't know why his name is popping into my head all of a sudden. But yeah, no, Donnie, played by I know the actor's name. He was played by the kid, the main guy from DinahMight. Yeah, the main guy from like what's that show, like the 13 Reasons Why. Yeah, like DinahMight was played by DinahMight, and Donnie was pretty much an introverted kind of science kid turned ice power person. He was like in a really hidden kind of secret project with another classmate of his called Seth, and they were in little monetary shenanigans with none other than the rat bastard Ian Quinn, who had been making them deals and giving them the resources and the tech they needed to build an even bigger ice machine. And then they ended up creating a superstorm, and then shit went crazy, and then lightning struck their machine, and Seth went into cardiac arrest, I think it was, and then he died, unfortunately. But then Donnie just became was overcome with grief and anger at having lost his friend and all this stuff having happened. And then he suddenly found out he had ice powers. He drew like an ice line on the window and then grew like a evil kind of smirk. So he's been sent to, where was he? He's been sent to the sandbox, I believe it was. Yeah, I think that's where he originally wanted to be sent. He was always too smart for for school or any kind of educational background, so jumping straight into work was what he always wanted to do in his preferred field. So he's been sent to the sandbox, but they're also going to be keeping an eye on him there. In the midst of whatever it is that he actually gets up to. I mean, I don't know if they're going to keep him in some kind of confinement or what's going to happen, but I mean, with his powers coming, he's probably going to get into a lot of trouble that way, so likelihood is we'll be seeing him again. But someone did point out in the comments that he actually is a character in the comics called Blizzard, so whether or not that's a villain, I'm not entirely sure. But I feel like the way Donnie's going, I think he could go down the villainous route, but then they could pull another Mike and talk him out of whatever evil villainy he has in mind a few episodes down the road, and see if they can pull him out, and then maybe train him the same way they trained Mike. And hopefully they actually find Mike at some point, but hopefully like they can give him the same treatment they gave Mike, and maybe have it like study his powers and give him more like training, like more like education to understand his own side of the super spectrum within S.H.I.E.L.D. and maybe he can still put his power to some good use while still being a scientist or technician or whatever it is he wants to be. But Donnie was one of the aspects of the last episode, and then we had May and Coulson traveling to Mexico, I think it was. They were in May caught a lead on investigating S.K.I.S past, and they both went to investigate that. And boy oh boy did we get some interesting tidbits on S.K.I.S past. Skye was an 084, not just an 084, she was a baby 084. When like pretty much soon after birth she was getting into all sorts of international drama through no fault of her own, we can safely presume, but she was an 084, and many people died protecting her because of that, because people came to kill her for it, and then protectors got in the crossfire, and like an entire village of people were slaughtered. Her birth parents were presumably killed in the process too. And then a SHIELD team came in as the welcome wagon, and they were dead probably upon arrival. And then the original parents of hers, Richard Lumley and Linda Avery, they were there, and they went to get into contact with the welcome wagon. But then the one SHIELD agent left of said wagon was the senior officer, and he was hiding under like a bridge or something, covered in blood, and the baby was covered in blood as well. And so stuff went down from there, and they caught up to Lumley in the end. He after Avery put Skye into the foster system through SHIELD, and had a protocol set up where she would be moved around every few months to avoid being captured. She was killed soon after that, and then Lumley just caught the hint and then just went underground and refused to have any further connection with the child. So yeah, but he did say that like whether or not that they weren't aware of whether or not she had any powers, because they never witnessed any whilst she was under their custody. So whatever happened must have happened before they came along, before the welcome wagon even came along, if the baby did have powers. And my assumption so far had been that an 084 is something that, you know, usually or typically exhibits some kind of extra normal or like paranormal kind of ability, like something like, you know, not really earthly or like human or anything like that. Like you know, like obviously the previous ones have been Thor's hammer and that little that little World War II gizmo in the Mayan pyramid or something, back in 084, back in the second episode. But it has been since pointed out to me that they don't have to exhibit any like actual powers or anything to be 084s. It's just like if something lands on Earth that you don't know where it comes from, that is what an 084 is. It's an object of unknown origin. So I think it's safe to say that human reproduction is where Skye came from. I don't really think she crashed here on like inside a comet or a pod. I don't think her home planet was destroyed. I'm pretty sure. I think it's safe to say that human reproduction brought her here. I think, okay, that's a little bit too on the nose and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I was just thinking about that before as well. Like, okay, so we don't know where a baby came from. Did these guys ever hear about the birds and the bees, or is that something kind of just over their heads? But that's kind of a given. That's a given. So that's like, that's just more than self-explanatory. But yeah, they don't know where she came from, but they don't know why she was being hunted in the first place. They don't know what's so special about her or what's so significant that people would be sent to kill her and kill the people around her. But since then she has grown up to be this woman, this amazing woman, and she's upon hearing this information from Coulson decided to deliver this information straight to Skye, no delays. And upon hearing that, you could see the tears flowing down her face. But upon hearing that, Coulson did say that, you know, she had no qualms or no worries about it. Like she said that, you know, she thought that she had been moved around in the foster system so much because she was unwanted, because the families didn't want her. But now she knows it was SHIELD protecting her all along. Like Agent Avery set up that protocol to make sure that SHIELD made sure that she'd be moved around all the time. So, you know, like whoever was after her wouldn't catch up to her. That's why she was moved around so much. But growing up, she always thought, oh, it's because they don't like me, no one likes me, she like, no one wants me, all that kind of stuff. So that was a great breath of relief that she could actually breathe. And these two agents did kind of, like, you know, even if it was for a short period of time, she like they did, you know, pick her up and, you know, take care of her as if she was their own child. Like they took on parenthood in a slightly more unorthodox kind of fashion, but they did protect the baby as if it was the last thing on Earth. And they like, one of them did quite literally give their lives protecting her secrecy and her existence and whatnot. So yeah, but she found Agent Avery's name on the wall of Valor, I believe it was called as well, like the wall for agents who have fallen in battle. So Bucky was the first name dropped person, so that was a very cool Easter egg to see. But there was that. But yeah, she was an 084. She's had quite the extensive history with SHIELD. So how we move on from here. She said her story, like her life has always been about her finding her origin, like seeing where she came from, and now she knows that it's now time for a new chapter. So she even told Coulson, you know, her story isn't ending just because she's found out where she came from. Now she knows how to move forward, and she knows where to move to. She knows this team of agents is her real family now. So, you know, she's ready for all sorts of new stuff to come her way. But the episode did end on quite the high note, quite the little cliffhanger, and it was revealed with Coulson contacting Quinn, and Quinn ending that little message on a little high note of saying that he knows the clairvoyant, that he says the clairvoyant says hi. So my theory was that Quinn himself could be the clairvoyant. It would match his MO, and his MO would also match up to the clairvoyance. But whether or not that theory pans out, we've yet to wait and see. But my theory is that Quinn is the clairvoyant working with Centipede. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from the last episode. So episode 13, T.R.A.C.K.S. Let's go.
Thanks, Dad. You look far too young to have a daughter my age.
Well, hey, that's a compliment. That's a, you know what? That's a compliment. That's a compliment.
So, are we British or American?
Does that matter?
When we're traveling together, we should at least be from the same country. How's your Scottish accent?
I don't know. You tell me how great it is, laddie.
Okay, let's just go American. Let's just
American then.
Yeah.
That's a better idea.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. Vegan.
I used
Yeah.
to watch a lot of American TV growing up. Some of it's quite good. Lots of nice teeth.
Yeah. Very Hollywood. Yeah, Americans a better fit. Definitely.
Speak English?
So remember, our target.
Gemma looks good in
I'm
glasses.
Mancini, the head of security. I know. What with your banking job requiring you to from Tuesday to Saturday every other week? No!
I'm terribly sorry about your loss, dear.
Stan!
As for you, now is your chance to do
Stan!
Why don't you see that you take it?
Thank you, sir.
Aww.
Let's go.
Oh, you poor soul.
He's right. You never had
Oh
any
god, I did not see that coming. I was not prepared for that at all. Prostitute. Oh, snap. Mom, someone snapped a few years too early. Oh, jeez.
Prostitutes, plural. May.
What? We've been made.
You've been made? Oh, crap. They got grenades? That light up? That light up? And... Wait, what? Did the train just disappear? Oh, sugar. Oh, I should have known better. Yeah, screw customer service. These are bad people. Oof. Ugh, bad people with knives. Oof. Ugh. You can't hit a woman. Oh, well, not in the face anyway. Yeah, you can't hit a woman directly in the face. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. And the train... Wait, did it disappear or did they put up like a perception filter of some sort? So it just makes it look like it's disappeared. So it's still running along the tracks, but it's just like, you can't see it. Oh, May's goggles. Oh, damn, wait, she fell off too?
It's the country. People are very trusting in the country.
And now you're going to give them a good reason not to.
It's been hot wired. This is suspicious.
Could
Say fortuitous. Let's get out of here.
Could it have been May? Maybe she tried to get an escape? Use both hands, you doofus. Just.
I think Simmons do something more like.
These guys are hopeless. You guys are absolutely hopeless. Jeez.
Let's just upload this. Good deal.
Oh god.
Sir, if you endanger an operation, or if anyone gets hurt, I'll reassign you to Barrow, Alaska, and you'll spend the rest of your years pulling the night shift guarding Blonsky's cryo cell.
Blonsk. Oh, the abomination's cry. Oh, geez, that is a punishment.
I'll take that as a
That
yes.
is a punishment.
If it's really just sex, Ward, you should get more comfortable.
That is a very good point. Yeah, I mean, if you can't even use the word, are you doing it right, or is it really just that? Could it be more? Oh crap, May?
Wheels up in 5.
Damn, she's been through hell, and she just killed that guy. I'm sure she had her reasons. Wait, they're frozen. Or maybe that was what the grenade actually was. Like it froze them for long enough for the train to actually disappear. So it looked to them like it vanished. Oh, that's smart tech. That is smart tech. Yeah, and knew it. She hotwired the car. Oh, you guys hurt my girl May. She's gonna destroy all of your asses. She's gonna whoop you all to kingdom come. Oh, and she cuts her way out of them, yep. Oh, ooh. Damn. She is brutal.
I suppose the only thing they really do have in common is that they're dangerous.
Well, you're not dangerous, guy. You're just a small bean who's really good with hacking and technology.
Like we always do.
Oof. Nice one. Oh, not so nice. Oh, come on. No, come on. Oh, that's it. Come on. Just trip him up. Okay, never mind. Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
Oh, sure. Now time's freezing for her. Now,
She's okay.
now time's frozen for her.
I suppose if they were in some sort of black sleep, that would make sense.
Okay, so they're unconsciously paralyzed.
And figure out what to do next.
So they are wherever Quinn is then, okay. That would make sense.
We can't let Quinn get away again. If Coulson were here, he wouldn't.
Wait till you have backup. Just wait till you have backup. They're gonna get her as quickly as they can anyway.
You're right.
Because they're gonna want to rescue you. Wait till you have backup. Well, you could just stab him in the leg right there. Just stick a knife or a pin in it or something. Mike! And he's not being tanned, he's...
Mike.
Hello.
Oh no. Oh, sugar.
Clairvoyant told me to expect you.
I'm sure he fucking did. What's... Oh, is that for his leg? That's for his leg. He's getting a new leg? Like a... Are they winter soldiering him right now? Are they winter soldiering him right now? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Oh. Damn.
If I wanted you to hurt me.
No.
Will you?
What the hell did you do to him?
Sky? No! No! You! What have you done? No! Sky, please! Sky! No!
I'm sorry.
No!
I have my orders too.
No, Sky, please. She's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. No, God, you're gonna be okay. You'll be okay. Oh, Coulson, please. Come on, where is the team? Surely they should be here by now. Oh, God. Oh. No. Don't let her die. Please don't let her die.
Coulson's team finally got here.
Kill his ass. Fucking murder Quinn. I don't give a shit anymore. Kill him. That's it. No, blow his brains out. I don't care. Blow his brains out. No, no, no. Turn the wall behind him into a fucking Andy Warhol painting. I don't care.
Dangerous to keep sending her.
Or just break his nose. Break something of his.
She means so much to you.
Yeah. Just break his nose. Rip off his ears.
No. Oh no. Oh god.
Tell me they can save her. Tell me they can save her.
Hang on. Just hang on. Okay.
Please. It's not fair to take her away after we got this much from her. It's not fair to take that away from us. Hurting yourself is not the answer. Hurt Quinn. If you need to punch something, punch his nose. Project Deathlock. Whoa, Deathlock. That's his new name then. Okay. Deathlock is his new name. No. This, I refuse. I need to break something. I need to break something. I need to punch a wall, or I would happily just break my knuckles on Quinn's face repeatedly. No, I don't even know what to think of this shit anymore. Like, they give us all this from Sky, like an entire episode as well, or at least like a good half of an episode dedicated to exploring her history, showing us where she comes from and where she is now, how much she's grown as a person, and then they just have a motherfucker like Quinn putting 2 bullets in her. She's like, the first one surprised me enough. Like, the first one, okay, maybe it's an injury shot, but then he holds her even closer and then takes an even closer shot. That one made me want to crush him under my fucking boot. That's what that did to me. Like, literally the thought of possibly losing her infuriates me. Like, after everything we've been through, there is not a chance in hell that I would accept a loss like hers. No. Honestly, until now, I just thought Quinn was a dickbag that they needed to stop and take down, but now he is a murderous dickbag. There's nothing worse than that. So, like, someone willing to kill to get to where they need to be and to get to what they need. And you could tell, like him, it wasn't even just about slowing Coulson down. He knew that Coulson and Skye were closely connected, so he thought the best way to hit Coulson in the heart was to shoot Skye in hers, figuratively, of course, because if he had shot Skye in the heart, that would mean she dies, and that would mean I jump into this universe and rip Quinn apart. That's like that is what that would lead to. That is what that would mean. But god friggin' damn it, like, just, that is not emotional hardship that I am prepared to have to deal through. Losing Skye is not something I want to have to face, and it's not something I'm prepared mentally to actually go through, because again, like, I think it's safe to say we're barely even halfway through the season, and they've already put so much time into developing all these characters, and I am in love with these people now. Like, the thought of losing any one of them is just harrowing. Like, we've been through so much with them, and then they give us like a potential loss of life, because I mean, she's stable for now, but who knows if they can't even get, like, I mean, the bullets are still in there. We don't know if like we don't know what the damage is like. We don't know, if like you know, like if it's hit any internal organs, if there's bleeding, if how fatal it is, because it's 2 shots in fairly close proximity. Like the first one was like what, 5 feet away, maybe 3 feet away at the least, and the second one was literally pressed up against her friggin' stomach, so that was close enough for it to get deep, if not for it to go through. I don't know if there's, I mean, chances are there was an exit wound for the second one, but the first one was far away enough for it to still be inside. But yeah, I mean, if they need to get her to surgery but they can't operate on her in time, and fuck, I don't know, like if they need to, I mean, I don't even know if they're gonna pull like if they're gonna pull like another Tahiti on Sky. No, they would never pull a Tahiti on Sky, because for one thing, Coulson knows exactly the kind of damage that did to him, and as much as he wouldn't want to lose Sky, he would, like, the last thing he would ever do, even in an insane mindset, is put her through that as well. There is no way he'd put her through the resurrection and 7 operations that they did to him. There is no way on earth he would put her through that. He knows the damage it would do to her. There is no way he'd put her through that, but I honestly don't know what they're going to do, because it seems like she's stable for now because of, like, the pressurization and the stuff of that tank, but I don't know, chances are they're probably going to need to do surgery on her, and they're going to need to get her to the right place with the right people to get that done on time and to actually stabilize her even further. But whether or not that even gets done, we don't even fucking know. I don't even know anymore. I don't know. Christ, the thought of her dying is something I don't even want to think about, but at the same time I can't even get it out of my head. That's exactly what Quinn has done. But Quinn, I don't even care about him. You can throw him off the bus in mid-air for all I care. Just get to the highest altitude the bus can get to without stalling, and then just kick him off the rear end. I don't care. I would pay to see that happen. Just kick him off the rear end of the friggin' bus. You know, obviously don't give him a parachute. Don't even think about giving him a parachute. Just maybe even tie his hands behind his back while you're at it, so you can just, you know, fall without any control. That, maybe tie his legs and his hands together and let him just free fall like a ragdoll. Yeah, and then just have May just kung fu kick him off the back of the platform. Just fuck. I've never hated Quinn more than I do right now. Like, but again, before I just figured, you know, oh, he is a threat, a very real threat, and I need to stop him. But now he is someone who has very potentially taken life from the team. For that, he needs to pay. I don't care about legalities, about putting him behind bars. No, kill him now. Just get it over and done with before, you know, like, if he does that, you give him the opportunity to break out in the future or be broken out in the future and just continue his ways and maybe even kill even more people. But, oh jeez, I'm terrified for Sky right now. I'm absolutely terrified for what might happen to Sky. But I mean, I want to say that I know they wouldn't take any main characters out of the first season, but I mean, it's the first season, but that wouldn't stop them. I mean, if anything, it might even provide for like a story motivator or like a character motivator. But I don't want them to have to lose Sky to be motivated to taking down Centipede. They should already be motivated already. They should be motivated to kill Quinn. They should be motivated to, you know, send an army into Centipede. Sky should not have to die for them to be able to do that. But and hell, I mean, the whole point of this mission alone was to capture Quinn, and then Quinn got the one over on them and took Sky down. Fuck. Yeah, the anger is still at an all-time high, but Jesus, and seeing Sky on the floor, just like crawling, trying to clutch at her stomach, just seeing the blood pouring out, crawling to the door to try and call for help, someone, and like as time went on, she just got more and more pale, just losing more and more blood. And I think that could have even been a sign of internal bleeding, losing blood on the inside, and just losing that energy as well. And yeah, and I'm pretty sure like if a bullet is still in there, that alone can also still do damage, because especially if it's hit an internal organ, that could stop that organ from functioning, and that could decrease stability by that much more. But I mean, I'm not a medical professional, so I'm just kind of going off of educated guesses here. But I cannot watch Sky die. I cannot watch Sky die. I cannot handle that. That is not something I want to have to see. That is not something I want to have to happen, you know. But I don't know. I honestly just hope that they can actually get her to the right place at the right time by the next episode. I will not have her recovery. I will not allow her recovery to happen anytime like outside of the next episode. You know, it has to happen next. I will not accept anything outside of the next episode. So, you know, assuming they can get her to an operating room by the next episode, then it's all good. But God friggin' damn it, I don't even know anymore. But that's that. We had Mike giving Mike being brought back in this episode. We have Mike being given a new leg, and he is part of something called Project Deathlock. So that may well be his new name. Maybe he is Deathlock. I don't know if that's his character from the comics, but I mean, like the vibes I got were them Winter Soldiering him. Like, I mean, he's still aware of who he is and what his past is like, but because of the eye thing he has, and he knows how it works because Coulson told him about Aquila Amador. And they saw what happened to the other soldier who was prone to getting captured, so he knows what the consequences are of not following orders, but he had no choice. So he was given a new leg, and now he's Winter Soldiering his way through the world for them. But he still knows his past, because he still went to the park because he wanted to try and see his son, but they said not yet. So yeah, but he did have that little label on the inside of his leg being like Project Deathlock. So yeah, so he is now he's been Winter Soldiered, but on like a slightly less lethal scale. Like, he still knows who he is, but he has no choice but to follow orders. So no freedom for him, pretty much. But I'm hopefully they can save him by the end of the season 2, and hopefully they can liberate him. I mean, maybe keep around this Project Deathlock thing, or like keep his leg around, but maybe just reintegrate him into S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that stuff, and have him retrained as a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, and rebrand Deathlock as a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, as a S.H.I.E.L.D. soldier. So yeah, but that's his thing. What else do we have? So at the beginning, they really caught me off guard at the beginning. They really caught me off guard at the beginning with the Stan Lee cameo. The Stan Lee cameo, Stan. I mean, I've seen his cameo. I think I've seen his cameos around in some fashion in the Netflix shows, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that's not something I expected to see. That was a very nice Easter egg, and especially now, like after Stan passed away. I think it's a year now. I think it's a year. It's been a year now, right? It has to have been a year now. Yeah. Well, how long has it been since he actually died? Let me check it. Stan Lee died 12th of November. So yeah, it's definitely been a year then. 2018. Yeah, definitely been a year. So it's like, yeah, definitely been a year. Like a year and a few and a few days. But damn. Okay. But that one was a very cool pop up to see, and to see him popping up all throughout Marvel media, not just the movies. I think he's done cameos in games as well. I remember I saw his cameo in the Amazing Spider-Man, I believe it was, in that video game. I think he's made cameos through most games, or through all the games, but like 90% of Marvel media he's made, like even outside the MCU, even in the Fox movies, the Sony movies, like, all of them, he's made cameos, because this is still his art, is still his kind of shared content. So he is popping up where he is making his credit where it's due. He's making his stand, but seeing him after he's dead, just seeing him still be a part of everything, it's just still But now, from here on out, in terms of movies and stuff, he's not going to have any cameos. I think from what I've heard, I think Endgame was his last ever filmed cameo. I think he filmed even his cameos had bloopers. Apparently, for like each of the movies he did and for the cameos he did, they filmed different takes of him saying different things. So I think someone did actually refer to that, saying, you know, that does kind of give them the opportunity to reuse old cameos for new ones. But that's damn it, sorry, Mike. I feel like that would kind of be disingenuous and like just kind of reusing a dead person's face. So like in Stan Lee's case, it's just like, you know, he played himself constantly. He didn't play, like he was credited in the credits. He never played any other kind of character. He never played anyone like that could he's not someone whose face you could just CGI onto him. He played a much bigger, much more impactful role than that. So like I feel like reusing old footage of his would kind of be somewhat disingenuous. And just, you know, just making more of the stuff in his name, I feel like would be enough. And at most, I remember I think it might have been in Daredevil or Luke Cage maybe. I think in either one of those, his cameo was actually just like a Stan Lee poster in the background. That was his cameo. So I feel like that's something that would be more doable and still more acceptable. So it's like it's showing that he's still around, he's still present. In that sense, but I feel like maybe something like less sentient would be more doable and more presentable than just reusing old footages, like CGIing him into a background somewhere and stuff like that. But seeing him in this, that was a very, very cool pop-up. So that one really had me jumping out my chair. But yeah, I think this episode, what fascinated me about this episode was the fact that, you know, it's like it's an episode that I've seen executed very many times in many different kind of TV shows, and I think it's that style of episode where it's like it shows you different perspectives of the same mission. So like they're like a team are on a mission, and it's usually with these kinds of shows like action, like sometimes like often comic books, but even in non-fiction stuff, it's mostly like action, spy, thriller type shows and movies and stuff. Like where even in a movie, it's like a specific scene. Commonly like murder mystery stuff, like where it shows where different people are leading up to things. But it's like in this particular context, it's like when a team are on a mission to get someone or get something, but then something goes wrong, and then the whole mission goes awry. It shows different perspectives of where everyone else is leading up to the big turnaround, the big twist, and then after that, like what happens to them afterwards as well. So, you know, kind of like converging timelines onto one single point, and then showing how they all split apart afterwards as well. So that one, I feel like in this case, it was executed very, very well. And usually, I mean, I'll admit, usually I'm not really like, I kind of find it a bit repetitive to have to follow the same concept but just execute in a different way. I feel like, you know, oh well, we know what's leading up to, and then, you know, after like usually the first couple of times I see it, I'm just like, okay, well now I just want to see what happens after the twist, just show me where everyone else is. But, you know, in this case, I feel like they did a good job. I think the key to executing this kind of concept is you know, like actually using those kinds of like each perspective, each take from another character's point of view, is show how it actually develops them. In this case, it actually does show that they actually use that time to talk to each other, interact with one another, and actually use that time to talk to each other on a more personal level. So I mean, in Skye and Fitz's perspective, it actually, you know, like she asked him about the 084 stuff, like after being given that news, and stuff like that, and then May and Ward kind of spoke about like discussed how missions being personal and operations being personal stuff like that. And Ward questioned her, telling Coulson about him and Skye doing him and May doing doing the sex, which he couldn't even say. That I think Coulson made a good point of that in the end, like in the end on the bus, like, you know, like, hey, if you can't even say, like, if you guys are having sex and you can't even say the word, you need to question, like, A, you kind of need to question how good it even is if you can't even call it for what it is, but B, you need to, you know, think about how this actually affects your your professional life. Like think about if you're getting just like if you're letting it, like, because if it's nothing, if it literally is just meaningless sex, you should be able to say it. But if it's not, if it's more, if you feel something more, or if you both feel there's something more and you're too afraid to say it, then you should actually evaluate what your position is and where this is going to lead to. But yeah, on the other hand, I think it could just be that obviously Ward is talking to a superior agent, so he's just kind of afraid to use such such NSFW words in front of his superior. But Coulson actually made a good point. If you can't even say the word, then reevaluate that whole situation to see where it is you're going to, and stuff like that. So yeah, and then we had what else did we have? We had Coulson and thingamabobbly Gemma Simmons. We had them kind of doing their own little kind of improv thing. Gemma learned from her last time being interrogated. She's not good at improv. She's not good at being on the spot, making stuff up. She's good at preparation, having a whole backstory and storyline prepared in her head. So she had that thing about her father being absent with prostitutes, and her mother having died, and then having an urn full of her ashes and whatnot. So that was that. And Simmons looks great in glasses, by the way. I just want to point that out. Like, she looks pretty good in glasses, but yeah, she's good at preparation. She's good at acting too. Like Simmons herself is good at. She really got into character for actually shouting at Coulson, being like, you were absent with prostitutes and mom died and and then just crashing the urn of ashes in the face of that cybertech guy. But yeah, that was their thing. So yeah, again, like in this particular take, like they actually did a good job of like either having fun in the moment kind of moments with the characters, or they had them exploring what's going on between them personally, or what's happened in the past and stuff like that. So it was fun to see those takes of it. And also it showed, and it actually helped progress the story in the sense that, from Coulson and Ward's perspective, they came off the train, and then the train just vanished in thin air and into thin air. But from May's perspective, she jumped off the train, saw Ward and Coulson just frozen on the ground, literally frozen, like not even diced, but just like freeze frame frozen. And then upon further study of the toxin, they realized that it actually just it was a more evolved version of their night gun, the dendrotoxin chemical, which just kind of paralyzed them to make them feel like no time had passed, and then by the time they came to, the train was already gone. So yeah, it wasn't much of a cloaking device or even a teleporter. It was just the fact that it put them into like a state of paralyzed unconsciousness, I guess you could say. Because Simmons was full on knocked out, like she was full out asleep, but with her eyes open. But Ward and Coulson were on the ground, but it looked like Ward was still in the process of getting up, like his head was up from the ground and he was on his hands and stuff like that. So just a different kind of perspective on how all of that stuff ran. But yeah, so that stuff was kind of cool as well. And then I think we just had the hunt for Quinn, which when you hunt for something, you kill it. So I'm hoping we can reach that nice, swift, painful climax for Quinn. I'm hoping we can reach that nice, swift, painful climax for Quinn. That is something I would very much like to see. Shit, I dropped my pen again. But no, I'm sincerely and severely pissed at that scene. Like I said, I cannot stand to have anything happen to Skye. I cannot. I refuse to accept her death in any fashion at any point. That's not something I want to see happen, and I know Coulson will not put her through the same resurrection techniques he was put through. He knows the damage that caused. He would never want to do that to her, but I do not want him to have to do that to her either. I want her to be able to live, and to continue being the extraordinary S.H.I.E.L.D. agent that she is. So yeah, that's that. But they have him in custody now, so I am looking forward. I am sincerely looking forward to seeing Ward unleashing his rage on Quinn's face, on Quinn's already butt-ugly face, just turning it even bloodier and crackier and bruisier and all that sweet stuff. I'm looking forward to that. Which he should have done instead of just going ahead to punch a car or punch the hood of a truck or whatever. He should have just barged right into that room and just broke his nose, just shattered his nose into pieces. But yeah, that scene, I can't get that scene of him shooting her out of my mind. Like, the severity of it, like the first one, he shoots her out of nowhere. He shoots her out of nowhere as a surprise shot, and then goes even closer for what is potentially the more fatal shot. The one, the one really surely designed to actually inflict a lot more damage, especially on the inside. Like that. That really, really pisses me off, but I don't know, I have no words anymore. I can't even talk. I legitimately cannot talk. But yeah, hopefully next time we see Skye, she will be on her way to receiving immediate medical help, hopefully, but I don't know, because I don't think they even have like an operating table suitable for Skye on the bus. I mean, chances are until they actually get to an actual Shield HQ or something where they can operate on her, they'll just be keeping her in that tank for as long as it can keep her stable under its conditions. So yeah, but goddamn, I really don't know anymore. I genuinely don't know. I don't even know what else there is to talk about. I'm still struggling to process what the hell I've just already seen, but it's but I mean, again, something I occasionally remember is that this stuff is old news to you guys. Like the majority of you watching these reactions are seasons ahead, probably even all caught up to whatever season it is on now. And just being like, oh, he doesn't even know that, stuff like this, happens, and, like what the outcome is, but, stuff like this is old news to you guys, and, and it's the beauty of, being caught, like just watching this from, like ages after it airs. I mean, I can only imagine the shock when this actually aired. I can only imagine the shock on people when this actually friggin' aired. But yeah, I think that is actually one of my favorite aspects of actually watching shows like this, like starting at the beginning when the show aired years and years ago, but then actually gradually working my way through it, just realizing, realizing after I watched the episode, like, oh my god, like this is such a big ending, like such a cliffhanger ending, but then thinking back and being like, imagine like how people who actually watched this live back then felt, like having to wait another week for the episode. But I mean, hey, doing these once a week, so that's close enough to the immersive experience for me. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this episode. I think that caught me way too off guard. I am very angry and I'm very, very much upset. But yeah, I think we will see soon enough where this season now brings us, and where Skye's new condition brings us. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have for this episode. I genuinely don't even have anything else written down, but there's nothing else I can really think of. Just looking forward to seeing how Mike gets along with as Deathlock as well, like what happens to him. I mean, I am hoping that they actually work on one thing at a time, but they also soon catch up to Mike and actually liberate him from the clutches of Centipede as well, and actually have him reintegrated into S.H.I.E.L.D. and seeing him as this new Deathlock figure. I mean, Deathlock itself doesn't sound like I mean, it sounds like a badass name, but it doesn't sound like it's, you know, exclusively villainous. So hopefully, once they rescue him, they can reintegrate him into S.H.I.E.L.D. as Deathlock, and then he can go back to being a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent again. Once then, and also maybe if they haven't by then also just actually properly help them take down Centipede as well. But looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing my girl Skye make a full healthy recovery, and also, you know, be able to watch Quinn being punished as severely as he should be, and more, and definitely more. But yeah, looking forward to seeing how all of that stuff unfolds. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from this episode. I'm sure there are other talking points I've gotten that I've missed. Maybe I think. Well, I mean, look, I mean. No, like, I mean, Skye. I mean, I do fully agree that Skye should not have gone in without backup. I think she was overly adamant on actually capturing Quinn. I think she should have taken into the account that you know, once the coordinates had been sent by Fitz, if S.H.I.E.L.D. like Coulson and the team, and maybe even like a dozen other S.H.I.E.L.D. agents would have been on the way. But you know. Like, I mean, I'm not victim blaming here. I'm not saying it's her fault. You know, it's absolutely no one's fault more than it is Quinn's. But I do think she should have taken into account the fact that, you know, like, she should actually wait until she has more backup, until she has more people ready to secure her six and all that stuff. So, you know. But it happened. She still went in, and you know, like, can't really blame her for you know, like, wanting to be capable enough. And she was capable, but she just got overpowered in the end, and then distracted by Mike. So that was that. But oh god, I honestly do not want to see her die. I cannot see her die, and I will not see her die. I will not accept her death under any circumstances. So yeah, but. Here's to hoping Skye makes a full recovery, and here's hoping that, you know, we see Quinn receive the punishment that he so rightly deserves, and all the rest of the good stuff coming our way. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have for this episode. So that was Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1, Episode 13, titled T.R.A.C.K.S. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on the episode and what you think is coming up next in the season. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you guys next time.